My name is Shanae George. I'm a psychotherapist and founder of Culture Minds Therapy. My role is to take therapy outside of the office and to you all at home. I bring to you the mind behind your favourite guests. We speak about mental health, therapy and self-care. Thank you for coming today, Morgan. How are you feeling today?
Feeling good, thank you.
Good. I like to start my interviews as I do with all the guests. So I ask a question of how are you feeling on a scale of 0 to 10, 10 being the happiest?
I'm feeling about an 8, I would say.
Lovely. What's making you feel 8 today?
The sun is out, I'm in good spirits. I've got a show tomorrow, which I'm excited about. So yeah, I'm just feeling in a good mood.
Lovely. I was saying off camera to you that you have an orchestra in your body. Like, your voice is incredible.
Thank you.
I know you've been in the music industry for a long time. You've been doing it. I think you said about since you come out of the womb.
Yeah.
But you've been doing music for about 5 years now?
Yeah, 5, 6 years, yeah.
But you only took it seriously how long?
About the 5, 6 years,
years,
yeah. When I started properly releasing music and trying to do it as a career, yeah.
I first heard about you from the Beyonce riff.
Which wasn't that long ago.
Incredible.
Thank you.
Incredible. What inspired you to jump on the trend of TikTok and do that riff? And what was the response from doing that?
It was actually a TikTok viral thing. So I did it on TikTok, but then I posted it on Instagram as well. And Instagram got a lot of good feedback. It's just a sick riff to do, to be honest. And I love Drunken Love, so I had to do it.
Lovely. So are you both on TikTok and Instagram?
Yeah.
And what platform do you think is best for music or having your music career?
It's tough, because before I would have said Instagram. And I do notice that when I'm more active on Instagram, I definitely get a lot more work. But recently I've been trying to pass over to TikTok a little bit more, and I did just hit over a million streams on one of my singing vids. So my TikTok's turned, before it wasn't a singing platform, a music platform, or an artist platform even. It was just like doing stuff for shits and gigs. Yeah. But now it's actually like a music artist, singers platform. So it's helped me with that, I guess. And I've got like more TikTok followers now. So I'm still trying to weigh out the two, to be honest.
Lovely.
Yeah.
I would like to know a bit about your early experience before we get to know where you are now and what you're doing now. What inspired you to take music to where you're taking it now?
I've just always loved doing it since I was little, and I like to do a lot of things, and I feel like I was good at doing a lot of things that I'd try when I was younger. But the one thing I always kept circling back round to was music and singing. Like, I just loved it. It's been my passion since I was a kid. So it naturally just progressed into where I am now, to be honest. I did it at school, then I progressed and did it at, I picked to do it for my college year, and then I went to university to do music. So, and even then I still wasn't serious about it really. My mum told me just pick something that you like doing for uni. So I picked music. And then coming out of that is when I was like, do you know what, I actually want to do this. So yeah.
Nice. Being a music artist, where do you find your inspiration from? Because sometimes I think to myself, you hear a lot of personal experiences, and it's generally comes from a place of pain.
Yeah.
So would you say you've gone through anything that's been painful as to where you find your inspiration to write your songs?
100%. I always say most of my songs are written from my personal experience and stuff that I've enjoyed myself. So unluckily enough, I've been in a lot of crappy relationships or situationships with a lot of crappy men. But I say it's a blessing in disguise, because I've been able to write like some really good songs out of it. And still to this day, like, I'll be pulling inspiration from situations that I was in like 5 to 10 years ago, and I'm still writing about now to this day, like it's relevant,
And how does that make you feel when you write from a place of maybe pain or heartbreak and turn that into a song, and the song goes viral and does amazing things for other people? How does that make you feel?
It makes me feel really good. One, because even though it's coming from a place of pain, I don't like writing like sad love songs where like the girl is crying about the guy. Like I always want to write like, for me, I'm very big on like feminism and female power and just like empowering yourself and owning your own situations. So even though I might get hurt by guys and I might be in a sad phase, it's about like, how do I get myself out of this rut basically, and like take ownership of the situation and become better from it, you know, and grow from it. That's the perspective I like to write from. So even though it's pain, it's sort of turning it into a positive. And then if it does do well, like Mutual for instance, so many people have told me that they resonate with that song so much, and it makes me feel like I've helped them as well in helping myself with writing that song for me. I've also helped them.
Yeah, no, I've listened to your music and it's very inspirational, very empowering and very moving. And who inspires you? So where do you get that motivation from as a woman yourself?
Probably my mum. Yeah, she's very strong-minded in herself, very independent. So I've always grown up with that kind of outlook on life and that kind of attitude, like just get it done, do your thing, you know, own your shit, so to speak. So I definitely take a lot of that from my mum.
And did you grow up with both parents or just mum?
My mum's a single parent, yeah, from the
Okay.
age of 3 I was.
And what was that like?
To be honest, it's all I've known, to be fair. Like I can't remember a time where it was a mum and dad family in a living house, so it's all I've known. Yeah.
And do you have contact with dad or is it mainly? Okay.
Yeah, I do. He's always been there. It's just not as like, I've grown up with living in my mum's house for like my whole life.
Where do you come from?
Leicester.
Leicester.
Yeah.
Okay. And so what made you come to London and come to kind of break out in the London area, should I say?
Well, my mum just basically told me like, girl, you need to go to London. She was like, you're not meant for Leicester. You're not meant for the small town. Like you need bigger things. From when I was young, like even before I was 18 to go to uni, she was like, you need to go to London. So yeah, I guess she kind of installed that into me as well. Like go for spread your wings sort of thing. And then as soon as I came to, I loved it. Like I knew I never wanted to go back to Leicester. So
what's the difference between Leicester and London? For yourself, what would you say is the difference?
It's bigger. I feel like there's a different attitude here with people. Everyone's a lot more motivated, a lot more hardworking, and just like dedicated to their passions and like to just doing as much stuff as they can to achieve the things that they want. Not to talk down on people from Leicester, but I feel like there is a difference with a small city mentality compared to a big city mentality.
Okay.
Yeah.
What have been your challenges as being a music artist? Any challenges you faced?
Lots of challenges, like especially in the up and coming era, you know, it's hard to get recognition, to get paid right, to get looked at properly, like when you step into sessions. And I'm a particular writer, like I can, but like with a lot of people, especially new people, I go into the studio and it takes me a while to get into the groove, to learn like how they work, how we work together. So it takes me a bit of time. And as an up and coming artist, when I was getting put into loads of sessions at a point, I would just come out of it feeling crap because they're just looking at me like, are you doing anything? Like, what's going on? And I'm like, yes, this is just my process. But because I'm not like established, you're not accepting it because you just want me to spin off a whole load of songs, you know? That's not how I work. So that was very hard for me because I went through like a whole year of being a studio hoe where I was just getting put in like a session like 2 times a week with a new producer and having to try and come up with something that just never worked. And then when I got a little bit more in my groove and started to get like a team of people to work with, that's when I was like, right, I don't do sessions with people unless they're my people and I know how to work with them and they know how to work with me. And since then, it's been so much better.
Wow, so kind of finding your own feet and what you enjoy doing.
Yeah, and being respected now. When I go in a session with a new person and I say, I'm not writing in the session, we're just going to groove, work together, make some beats, and then I'll take them away, do my thing, and then we'll reconnect. And they're like, okay, cool.
Oh, nice. So kind of like owning it and finding your confidence in yourself and how you like to work.
Yeah.
What was that like mentally, having to go through that and kind of find yourself?
It's challenging just because I feel like I wasn't as confident in myself then than I am now.
Okay.
So like you said, trying to find that confidence and find that balance without coming across as like hard to work with, or was actually really difficult. And there's been sessions where I've had like guys telling me to come because they really want to like try to get to know me rather than actually working with me. That was really difficult when I was younger. So yeah, it was just tough, but luckily I just kept at it, stuck to my guns. Tried to get a team around me of people. Like I don't really have a team now, but I have a group of friends that all help and support me, and we support each other, and just trying to have those people around me so that I'm not like took advantage of by other people.
I was going to say that because I've heard a lot about within that industry and it being very male dominated and men, trying to take advantage of women, or women not getting their rights or their right pay. I know Ray has spoken a lot about that from her own experience, and you've now spoken about it from your own experience. How did you find that confidence to be confident and kind of say, this is what I want, this is what I'm not going to tolerate, and these are the people who I want around me to help me move forwards in my career?
You know what? I don't actually know. I think I'm very good at like, what's the word? Like I wouldn't say like, don't do that or don't, I would just kind of laugh it off and then revert back to, okay, so let me go and do this, or this is what I've got, or I would just try to keep it so like work related, and literally just completely ignore like any of that type of stuff. So I mean, after a while, people could tell like I'm not just here to like, do you know what I mean, do that with you. Like I'm very like, I don't mix business with pleasure. Like I started turning up, no makeup on, hair tied back, tracksuits on, literally just like no opportunity for you to look at my body or try and insinuate something or anything, I'm just here to do my work, do my business. And if you're not serious, I will leave. Like I would leave within like half an hour of a session if I'm feeling weird vibes.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. And in that industry, in the music industry, a lot of people talk about struggling with their mental health and well-being and kind of go into different coping mechanisms to help them manage any stress, any depression, anxiety. Have you ever struggled with your mental well-being being in the music industry?
I feel like since COVID I have.
Okay.
I like to say I'm quite a strong-minded person. So even though I know I get imposter syndrome all the time, I feel like every creative does, I know that it's just in my head, and just to carry on and push through and just throw those thoughts away, because at the end of the day I'm in this position because I must be talented and I must be doing something right? So that was always like never really an issue to me. But after COVID, I don't know, even now, like what, we're 3 years out of COVID or whatever, 2 years, it's still like, I feel like the imposter syndrome just kicked in like 10 times more than it was before. And obviously coming out, it's like people aren't doing a lot more shows, they're not paying enough because everyone's been out of work for like a year or whatever. So it was definitely hard coming out of that and thinking like, am I good enough still? Like even I get days now, I'm like, why is no one booking me this week? Like, am I good enough? What's going on? But it's just kind of, that's why I said in another interview, actually, it's good to have a collective of friends around you that are doing the same thing, so that when we talk to each other, it's like, oh crap, you're feeling the same way as me. Like it's just in my head, So
you're kind of like normalizing that experience and not feeling like you're alone.
Yeah. And to be honest with you, I just crack on with the work, because the more I do the work, the more it makes me feel better. Yeah.
Have you ever experienced rejection within your career?
All the time.
How do you deal with that? How do you deal with, being rejected and that, what comes with that?
I just keep it pushing, to be honest, because like I've always known in my brain, even from when I was a kid, like you could get 1,000 no's. It doesn't mean that you're not good enough. It just means that it's not the right thing for that, or you're not the right person for that other person, or you're not the right fit for the job. There might be another 10 times better job waiting for you, and if you would have said yes to that one, or they would have said yes to you, you wouldn't have got that, So I feel like as one door closes, there's always another door open. That's the kind of mindset I have.
Yeah, I feel like for me, I've got a quote when it comes to rejection, and it's, rejection just means redirection.
Right.
And that always helps. Whenever I get rejected for anything, I always think, you know what, redirection.
Yeah.
There must be another path coming. So yeah, I love the fact that you also kind of feel that way, and you're able to kind of think in a way where, do you know what, if this door has closed, another door's going to open. How does it feel performing on stage? Because I know you've been doing a lot of live gigs. How does that feel?
I love performing. It's one of my favourite things to do as an artist. It gets me, like, it makes me be able to show my voice to people. Like, I feel, okay, so I grew up on like Top of the Pops, right? Yeah. Where none of the artists could sing. And I used to say to my mum, why are these people famous? I can sing better than them live. And she'd be like, don't know, babe, you just got to grow up and do it yourself. So now when I go out to a show, it just makes me happy because people can see like, oh, you can actually sing, like, wow.
You know what you're doing.
Yeah, and I feel like it also gives them a different essence to just hearing me on the recording. Like, it's very different. So I love doing it. I love connecting with people through performing, stuff like that, yeah.
How do you mentally prepare for a show? So before a show, you're going into the venue, you can hear the audience and hear the noise, hear the music. How are you mentally preparing for that?
So I like to do a whole day of prep from when I wake up. So pamper myself, make sure I'm all nice and refreshed. I've done like a face mask, I'll do my nails, wash my hair. I'll do like all the pampery shit. Then I'll warm up my voice. So I do my vocal training. I don't know if you've seen, I post a few things on social media. Then I'll practice through the songs that I'm doing for the day, practice in the mirror so I can do my performance and whatever. I'll probably have a vocal zone or two, which is like singers know what they are.
Okay.
And then what else do I do?
Do you have any like tea or any drink?
I don't have tea because I don't drink anything too cold or anything too hot on the day. It's only like warm drinks, like room temperature stuff.
Is there any reason why?
Yeah, because cold stuff or hot stuff, it affects the throat.
Oh wow.
Sorry, I'll just touch my mic. So if you drink too cold stuff, then it basically like, I think it's supposed to like, I don't know, just make it really tight and whatever.
Oh, wow.
And then I'm not sure what hot stuff does. I just got told it basically. And then I do find that if I do drink hot or cold stuff, it does affect me as well.
Oh, so it's got to be room temperature.
Yeah, room temperature, like water and stuff like that. I also find that, okay, so I do get show anxiety a little bit, like just before I go on stage. And water doesn't help. It makes my throat really dry.
Oh, wow.
So I do have a little bit of Dutch courage. I'll either have like a shot of tequila as my usual thing, or I used to do a shot of Courvoisier, a shot of water, and then honey, mix it together. Wow. And that was like my show drink.
And does that help with the anxiety?
Yeah, it does.
In what way would you say it helps?
I feel like it's more of a mental thing.
Okay.
Like, I'm a drinker, I love a drink anyway, and I've always used a little bit of Dutch courage sometimes when I've been like really nervous for a show, just to sort of calm the nerves. Because like this one time I had so much anxiety, I kept drinking, but I wasn't getting drunk because I was like so nervous. So it just helped me to like get on an okay level. Yeah, I think it's just a mind thing.
Yeah, no, I have heard about that, like having a Dutch drink shot and just like ready and good to go. Is anxiety something that you would say you struggle with, or is it mainly performance anxiety? So when you're kind of like on stage? I think it's mainly performance anxiety, and I didn't really even understand what anxiety was until literally COVID again. I just thought, I'm not gonna lie, I thought people were being silly, and then I was like, oh, this is what it is. Okay. So yeah, I think I get a little bit of it sometimes. I'm a bit socially awkward sometimes, but for the most part, it's always pre-show anxiety. Okay. Yeah. And how do you aside from the Dutch drink, are there any other techniques or anything that you do to help manage your anxiety?
I try to make sure I eat well on the day, just because part of my anxiety is that I get a stomach ache. Okay. I don't know why. So I try to make sure that I eat right and my stomach's patterned for the day and whatever. I do like breathing exercises sometimes, because you do like vocal breathing exercises, but then I do like just some actual breathing exercises as well, like the Wim Hof exercise my dad taught me. That's about it really. I just try to center my mind as much as possible. Yeah.
Have you ever thought about going to therapy to help with your anxiety?
No, to be fair. And that's something maybe I should do. You know what I have done? I've YouTubed like how to get over performance anxiety. Okay, yeah. And it did help me a little bit. Yeah, it actually did help me a little bit. Okay. Yeah.
No, I just asked because I'm a therapist and I understand anxiety. And anxiety is very normal. It's very normal, it's very common. And as you said, you can feel it in your stomach. And that's general and that's normal how people feel it. But it's good that you're able to identify that you feel it in your stomach. So then you would eat something good and kind of prepare yourself. So when you do have that feeling, you're able to take care and kind of use any techniques, any tools to help with manage how you're feeling. But yeah, it's very common. Anxiety, social anxiety, performance anxiety is very common in your industry. So it would be interesting for you to go to therapy and kind of help with managing that anxiety and how you're feeling, because it's normal. And then when you're equipped with the right tools, techniques to help you, then you will find yourself feeling more confident when you're on stage.
Because it's weird, like as soon as I step on stage, it goes away most of the time. But like, and it never comes until like I know that I'm next and my name's about to be called. So
there's that anticipatory anxiety.
It's literally like 10 minutes, but I'm like freaking out inside my brain. As soon as I jump on, I'm fine. Yeah. But yeah, I'd rather not have that stress before I go on.
Yeah. But that's normal though. That's normal and expected, because you're waiting for your name. Take a deep breath, walk on stage. But when you get on stage, you're in your element. And you're with your fans and people love you. They're here to see you. So that can make you feel uplifted knowing that, you know.
And to be honest, another thing is the more I'm rehearsed and feeling prepped and ready to go, and like my vocals are all tight and right and ready, then the less anxiety I get. It's when I feel less prepared, I get more anxiety.
That makes sense. That makes sense. How do you take care of your mental health? What are the things you're doing to take care of your mental health?
So I've been on a bit of a self-love journey since the new year, and the things I've been doing, it's just kind of like doing normal things, but things I sort of forgot to do for myself, because I've got very busy like over the past year, and I stopped like cooking my own food and like going to the gym, just literal simple things that you do, you know, like I only have a shower in my house, but I would like go to a friend's house and have a bath because I love baths. Like baths for me is very therapeutic. So just doing little things like that, and like treating myself good, spending time with myself as well, because I used to do that a lot, and I feel like I got too caught up in just going everywhere, being with everyone. I didn't actually get to sit by myself and just center, you know. So I try to do that as much as possible and just take a bit of like, not meditation time, but just like quiet time, just to do things and just be silent with myself.
I love that, because I can imagine in the industry you're in, you know, you might always want to be there, always want to be at that function, and sometimes it's like, no, I need to be with myself. Chill, how do you get to a stage where you can say, no, I need to be by myself, I need to kind of have that me time?
It's hard because I get FOMO bad.
Yeah, I can imagine.
But yeah, it was just kind of a willpower thing. I just had to say, no, I need to take time for myself, especially if I know I've got a lot on like coming up. Then I'll be like, no, I need to like not come, have a great show, because like a lot of my friends put on shows as well, and I always want to go and support and connect and network and stuff while I'm there. But like, I can't be everywhere, so I have to sort of pick and choose which ones I really want to be at, and which friends I really want to, like events I really want to support, and which ones I can sort of miss until next time.
Oh, lovely. Yeah. Well, thank you for coming. It's been a pleasure having you here. What can we expect in the future for Morgan Munroe?
So I'm dropping a couple of projects this year, which I'm really excited about. And I've got a bunch of singles coming with some really good features on them as well. And I just want to be performing lots and creating and releasing more music.
Lovely. One more question, actually, as you said, features. Who would be one person you'd love to feature with?
Frank Ocean.
Frank Ocean, yeah.
He's my top.
Like that. Thank you.
Thank you for having me.